the recent anti-demolition protest in Ikeja, that's Lagos State, where communities challenged alleged unlawful demolition and land grabbing in the state. Now, two organizers, Taiwo Hassan, known as Soweto and Dele Frank, were arrested and have since been charged with 5 counts at the Yaba Magistrate's court. The police accused them of obstructing traffic and singing songs considered abusive towards the government and police. Both have been granted bail of 200,000 naira each with 2 sureties. This case highlights the tension between civic expression and state authority. Communities are voicing frustration over displacement, while the police frame certain protest actions as a threat to public order. Well, of course, joining me right now to discuss this is Adaramoye Michael Lenin, is the National Coordinator of Youth Rights Campaign. He joins virtually. It's great to have you.
Good evening. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me here.
All right. Let me first start with your reaction with some of the things that we saw yesterday in Lagos State, where some individuals did come out to protest what they considered anti-demolition or illegal demolition of some properties that is pretty much ongoing in Lagos. And they were met with, of course, resistance by forces, and some were even, charged to court and released on bail. What does this reflect of our democracy as a nation and civil rights?
Yes, thank you very much. What transpired yesterday is a terrible occurrence. It's also a reminder of the kind of society that we all live in. I mean, this is not the first time we will have something of that nature. In fact, there have been protests of that kind in Lagos, which has also been met by a similar level of repression by the police. So that what happened yesterday is also to show to the whole world that all of the points you have been making about the Nigerian state, about how brutal it has been to citizens, about how ruthless, and about how they've been consistently been using the police to try to clamp down on the voices of the people. Anyway, that itself played out yesterday, because what we had yesterday was just a peaceful protest of people who were affected by demolitions. In fact, many of these persons have been rendered homeless, and they were just, as residents and as citizens of this country, trying to take their grievance.
Michael Lenin, I think we have a bit of connectivity issues with you. But in reaction to this protest, once we're able to, of course, get connection with him, we'll bring him back. We had the Lagos State Commissioner of Police here at News Central on our flagship, that's our top of the hour news tonight. And he reacted to some of the things that did transpire and the reason why the authorities took the action they took. Take a listen to what he said. That's CP Moshood Jimon. Take a listen.
When the protest started, we warned them that the protest and the expression of our opinions or our grievances are part of essentials of democracy that is entitled to by every Nigerian. But our right stops where that of others begin. And the march, you can see even the clip that you are showing, that the police were with them from under the bridge in Ikeja till they get to Alausa. That's why the fact that they blocked the public highway. People who have medical emergencies were locked up in traffic. People who are going to travel out of the country or within Nigeria were locked up using a long way. They couldn't get to where they're going. There are a lot of complaints. We exhibit a sense of restraint in ensuring that they see the reason to go peacefully. So when they get to the House of Assembly, the House were informed. I was on ground. Like you see the clip, the rain abuses on me, but I work under pressure and I don't yield to such sentiment. So in the process, the 5 members of House of Assembly member came out to address them. But because they are in segments, you can see the people from Owode-Onere, the Mokoko people, the people from Owura and other area. And they see the reason why they should listen to the House of Assembly member. But those who consider themselves as the arrowhead that stimulates the protest have a different agenda of violence. and that is why they resist all opportunity to be peaceful. So in the circumstance, after being addressed by 5 members of the House of Assembly, Lagos State House of Assembly, they subsequently ordered the protester to sit down on the road and block entirely public transport coming in from Awolowo Road into the Alausa, the House of Assembly, into other area in Alausa and Ikeja. So, and we warn them, this is dangerous even for their life and the life of other road users. So like I said, that was the point, that we have to use minimum force to be able to ensure
water cannons.
Minimum force.
Tear gas.
Yes, tear gas. When you say tear gas is part of our minimum force. It's not lethal weapon. Nobody fired a single shot throughout the entire process. Your reporters were there, the reporter of other media houses were equally there. If there's any weapon that is fired, you hear the shot. So the tear gas is part of the minimum force to ensure that the areas.
No, but I'm curious, because some persons were injured, like you saw in the report. That could have been avoided if that camper for safety wasn't necessitated by the use of
other Nigerians.
I mean, the question I asked remains, sir. Couldn't you have used maybe water cannons? Because those tear gas, I have experienced.
Water cannons equally carry hot water. Water cannon have hot water, and that where they are stationed, there's a water cannon there. So those are the minimum force that we can use. So at that point in time, to use the tear gas is the minimum force that we can dwell on to be able to ensure that we don't have a completely breakdown of law and order on our hands, because they insisted they are going to surge into the House of Assembly.
Well, that, of course, is Lagos State Commissioner of Police reacting to the recent protest and some of the issues that occurred. He was here at News Central. We still have Michael Adamoye Lenin, who would react to some of the things that the CP did say. Stay with us, we'll be right back. You're still watching Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course I still have Michael Adamoye Lenin. He is an activist. He, of course, is my guest this evening. Michael, it's great to have you. Now, quickly, before we wrap it up, the Commissioner of Police was at News Central yesterday to react to some of the issues that happened during the protest, particularly the tear gas and that was used to disperse the crowd, amongst a list of other issues that raised concerns. And part of the reasons he gave for the police dispersing the crowd is that they were obstructing traffic and they had to do something. So, I mean, what do you have to say about some of the things the CP did say?
Well, thank you very much. I think, of course, I also read the statement issued by the police and, of course, also the speech by Mr. Jimo, the CP of police. And I mean, it is very clear. I mean, because what happened yesterday, protesters were organized properly in the best manner that they could. The march itself started from Ikeja, and there was no instance or any occurrence of violence by anybody. I mean, the road users, people who were using the road, the other commuters, were allowed to pass. In fact, people had just one mission, just to go to the National Assembly to show their grievances to their lawmakers. That was the intention of that protest. There was no point where protesters had the intention of blocking the road or even obstructing or causing violence. And what transpired throughout the period of that protest, there was nothing that indicated that protesters instigated any violence, but rather from what we all can see. But violence started the moment when police started to attack protesters. And I think this has always been occurring. Whenever police attack protests, they come up with all sorts of excuses to say this or that. I mean, this. So it has become something that we are quite used to, because there's always like an excuse to give whenever you want to, in a way, calm down.
Michael, because we really need to go. Michael, please, 1 minute. Yes. Because we really need to go. Do you think protests are still effective, in the country, or do you think that there are better ways to avoid incidents where individuals who come out are injured, in the process of carrying out their civic duties? Are there better alternatives that can be explored outside protests to sort of drive home grievances against the government?
Well, thank you very much. One of the points we've always raised is that if you truly want to have a democratic society where citizens can exercise their rights, protest is, must not be condemned. But protest must be encouraged. Either you are for government, either you are against the government. So the idea of saying whether the alternative was so, what we should focus on is that there's no justification where police officers should seize protests as a ground to show their force as an opportunity to begin to shoot protesters. From the record we've had, in a few weeks, the Lagos State Police, that the leadership of Ajimo, had killed at least 53 citizens. So these are not just numbers. These are children. These are mothers, sisters, and brothers of innocent citizens too. So our focus will be more on why police attack protests, which ought not to be in the first instance. So that
I'm sorry, but this is the beat time will permit. Definitely, your point has been driven. It's been a pleasure having this conversation and having you on the program at this time. We empathize with those that were, injured in the course of that protest and wish them speedy recovery. That's the beat we can take tonight. Thank you once again for your time, Michael.